Today's letter is a psalm without a story. Just a man, alone, thinking about being known. Today we walk it slowly. Welcome back to Letters from Home. I'm Hank Garner, and this is Wednesday, the story. Open Psalm 139. The psalm has 4 movements. Verses 1 through 6, God knows me. Verses 7 through 12, God is with me everywhere. Verses 13 through 18, God formed me. Verses 19 through 24, my response. Let's go through each one. Movement 1, God knows me. Verse 1, O Lord, you have searched me and known me. The Hebrew word for known there is yada. Yada is one of the great words of the Old Testament. It means to know, but not just to know facts about, to know intimately. The word is used for the deepest human relationships. It's the word used in Genesis 4 verse 1 when Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived. It's the word used for the covenant relationship between God and Israel. Amos 3 verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Not just noticed, known, chosen, entered relationship with. That's the word David uses for what God has done to him. David does not say God has observed him. God has known him intimately, personally, from the inside. Verses 2 through 4 unfold what knowing looks like. God knows David sitting down and rising up. God knows David's thoughts before they arrive. God knows David's path and his lying down. God knows David's words before they're spoken. There's no interior of David that God does not know. Verse 5, you have hedged me behind and before and laid your hand upon me. The Hebrew word for hedged is Tsur. The word means to besiege, to confine, to hem in. It's a military word. It's what an army does when it surrounds a city. You cannot escape. You cannot break out. The city is contained. David says God has Tsur'd him behind and before. There's no direction he can go where God is not. The image is of being pressed in on, enclosed. Verse 6, such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It's high, I cannot attain it. Notice what David does with the knowledge. He's not comforted yet. He's overwhelmed. The knowing is too much. He cannot take it in. Movement 2, God is with me everywhere. Verses 7 through 14. Where can I go from your spirit, or where can I flee from your presence? The question is rhetorical. David is not going to actually flee. He's describing the impossibility. Then he runs through the extreme directions. Verse 8, if I ascend into heaven, you are there, up. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there, down. The Hebrew word for hell here is Sheol, the place of the dead, the realm below. Verse 9, if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, east and west. The wings of the morning is the sunrise, the far east. The uttermost parts of the sea is the far west, the Mediterranean. The end of the world David knew. Even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. Verse 11, if I say, surely the darkness shall fall on me, even the night shall be light about me. Even darkness cannot hide. Verse 12, the darkness and the light are both alike to you. There's no direction he can go, no place he can hide, no time of day, no realm of existence where God is not. That's movement 2. Movement 3, God formed me. Verses 13 through 18. Verse 13, for you formed my inward parts, you covered me in my mother's womb. The Hebrew word for formed is ganah, to acquire, to possess, to bring forth. The word for covered is sakak, to weave, to interweave. God wove David together in the womb. Verse 14, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That phrase, fearfully and wonderfully made. Some translations render it awesomely and marvelously made. The point is that David sees himself, his body, his existence as a wonder, made with care, made with intent. Verse 15, my frame was not hidden from you, when I was made in secret and skillfully wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. The Hebrew phrase lowest parts of the earth is likely a poetic way of saying the depths of the womb, the hidden place, the place where no human eye can see. But God saw. Verse 16, your eyes saw my substance, being yet unformed, and in your book they all were written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there were none of them. Before David had a body, God saw. Before David had a life, God had written the days. Verse 17, how precious also are the thoughts to me, O God, how great is the sum of them. David has moved from being overwhelmed by the knowing to being humbled by it. The knowing that felt too high in verse 6 has become precious. Movement 4, my response. Verses 19 through 22 are hard. David asks God to slay the wicked. He hates those who hate God. This section is uncomfortable to modern ears. Let me name what's happening. David is not asking God to slay his personal enemies. He's asking God to deal with those who oppose God's righteousness. This is a section rooted in David's zeal for God's justice. It's honest, it's angry, and it's being brought before God, not acted on by David himself. The Psalms include this kind of prayer. They include the anger. They include the desire for justice against evil. They give us permission to bring even that to God, rather than either pretend we don't feel it or take matters into our own hands. Then verses 23 and 24, the closing. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me, know my anxieties, and see if there's any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Read that slowly. Search me, O God, and know my heart. David circles back to where he started. He began by saying, you have searched me and known me, verse 1. He ends by asking, search me and know me, verse 23. What changed? At the beginning, the searching was described. It had already happened. David was observing it from a slight distance, overwhelmed by it, alarmed by it. At the end, the searching is invited. David asks for it. He wants it. The same knowing that was too high in verse 6 has become the thing David is asking to receive. The change in the psalm is not in God. God has been searching all along. The change is in David. David has moved from being uncomfortable with being known to being safe in being known. That's the arc. And notice the very last line, lead me in the way everlasting. The psalm ends with a road. David has been searched, David has been known, and David, having been fully known, asks to be led on. The one who searches is the one who leads. Tomorrow we let it land. There'll be more mail tomorrow. Join me at hanksbiblestudy.com for more resources to help strengthen your faith.